end up getting disqualified because several of their players could not get internet, but those people have been kicked to the curb. They've been kicked out. They are no longer on the team, and instead we're going to be seeing Zoka and Jimmy step on in. So very, very cool there. We'll see what they end up going for. Now here's a question for you. We had this first game where all of the picks came out, all of the stuff was ready to go. We knew what the players were that we're going to be seeing, and then they ended up having to restart. Do you think that they try and go for a similar draft this time around, or do you think that they go for something new?
Well, the bands certainly look similar. Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Well,
Same draft it looks like. Different order. Well, same draft.
The Shadow Fiend Earthshaker combo is something that's really, really strong. And if they did want to go for a Shadow Fiend pick, which they ended up going for 4th last time, you definitely want to be able to pick up that Earthshaker, because otherwise you're just going to have a really tough time in lane against him. Like, Earthshaker is one of those heroes that against a Shadow Fiend can really completely disrupt him and usually get an early kill. But if you end up having him on your team, likewise, he can save your life. So I think that's a pretty good, if they're going to go for it, a good to pick it early.
Yeah. The hero stage as well, like, a well-placed Fisher can basically set up 2 easy raises and just make life a lot easier for Shadow Fiend. Especially against heroes like Bloodseeker. Not the easiest hero to raise his movement speed.
Yeah, definitely. I think I need to get into playing a little bit more Shadow Fiend. I'm almost exclusively a support player, but it can be a lot of fun, I think. Omni-Knight picked up. Interesting. I think that maybe right there with the Radiant having picked last game, they kind of showed their cards a little bit. And now Dire recognizing that they're going to need to get some of that plus armor with Guardian Angel.
Yeah, didn't they ban Omni-Knight last time?
They did ban Omni-Knight last time, which I found somewhat interesting that they've opted to pick him up this time. And then the Gyrocopter banned out. I think that pick threw him for a loop a little bit last time around, and didn't want to have to deal with them. Magnus banned out for the Magnus pick. And this is the thing that's interesting, is like, you don't really know how the game would have gone, but now that they know what it was going to be, they're going to be able to ban out heroes. And it's kind of okay for the Radiant here, because they ended up getting the win for that last game anyways, so it kind of doesn't matter. Very interesting. I'm really excited about this game, though. I think it's going to be pretty fun. I freaking love Dota, and I have to go to work in about 2 hours from now, so I'm going to need to have this game to take me through the rest of the day. Slardar, interesting. I think that makes sense also if they're going to be going for a minus armor strat. They really want to be able to get that. Do you think that at this point Radiant potentially tries to switch things up a little bit?
Yeah, I think they're going to be forced to switch things up a bit now without that Gyrocopter carry. One thing I just wanted to point out is that I think their mid player is getting replaced for Netcut, and that's always kind of a weird change. That, like, a mid player is very impactful, like, early on in the game, and the way your mid player plays can completely change how you want to play. If you have more, like, aggressive mids who want to roam and gank early on once they hit 6, that's going to be a lot different than the mid who wants to sit in lane and farm up as much as he can in that first 15 minutes of the game.
Definitely. Absolutely. And I think that, you know, last time Dire ended up going for a Sven, and I think that the Darkseer, wow, Winter Wyvern picked up. Super excited about this one. This lineup from Radiant looks terrifying. Oh my goodness. And I think that the Darkseer pick there is really, really smart. It's good against pretty much all of these heroes. Lion, not great against, but still pretty solid. Like, Surge doesn't care about turning into a sheep, as long as you get it off beforehand. So I think that Dire could have a bit of trouble in lane here. Omni-Knight isn't the best against Darkseer. Repel is okay against the Ion Shell, I guess. But if you have to spam that out as an Omni-Knight, that eats up a good amount of your mana pool, and if you don't get an early Soul Ring, you could have some trouble with it. Be interesting to see. And it's picked up.
Yep. Different mid, different player.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very interesting. I haven't watched much of the TA versus Shadow Fiend matchup. Do you know much about how that tends to go?
Yeah, well, it completely depends on the if the TA is better than the Shadow Fiend. Okay, this sounds kind of dumb, but mind you, sometimes a worse player can win a matchup. Like if he's playing Viper, the TA could be a worse player than the Shadow Fiend. He's still gonna win. But the TA, those early refraction levels are so key because those raises will do completely no damage against a refraction charge, and Psyblade's completely wreck Shadow Fiend. He's very squishy. Once TA hits 6, Shadow Fiend has to be careful about a side trap and just getting chased down because he's a lot slower.
Yeah. Well, and I guess the other thing that you have to keep in mind there as well is that, you know, if you're able to deny with Templar Assassin with those refraction charges up, you're going to get a bunch of bonus damage off of that, and it's not going to eat through your refraction charges. So, going to be very interesting to see how that gets played out. I don't play TA that often. I think I've actually only played one TA game before for my All Hero Challenge, which I completed, but we'll see. Fan Lancer banned out. I think that's a really, really smart idea. They do not want to have to be messing around with him. Their AoE right now is basically non-existent. Even the TA is really not a good way to deal with the PL. And Slark banned out for the Radiant. Kind of interesting. Last game they were looking to run the Bloodseeker in the off lane. Honestly, if they end up matching up the Darkseer against the Bloodseeker anywhere in lane, that could be a really good matchup for the Radiant.
I don't know. I think Bloodseeker is probably one of the only melee heroes who's going to be able to sustain against a Darkseer in lane. He just has to basically Blood Rage the actual creeps. Like if a creep has an Ion Shell on it or something, and you can just easily and quickly kill it.
That's an interesting thought. I hadn't thought about Blood Raging the actual creeps. That makes a ton of sense, though. Yeah, that'd be really good. Okay. Alright, maybe Bloodseeker can deal with that Mr. Darkseer himself. Always a very interesting matchup there. You know, because oftentimes you want to keep that lane up close to whatever hero you have, but with Darkseer, it's just such a different type of game to play. Yeah, very, very cool. Well, we'll see how this ends up turning out here. The Winter Wyvern pick, I think, is absolutely great, and there's a really, I mean, already Winter Wyvern does have a lot of damage over time as well with that Arctic Burn. So I think that could be a pretty solid pickup against that TA. Wind Ranger, interesting. So they can a safe lane Shadow Fiend here then?
I'd prefer a safe lane Wind Ranger, I think, if I were you. I think the Wind Ranger will be able to better set up kills and whatever. Because Shadow Fiend doesn't offer anything in a lane, like any sort of dual lane or tri lane. He doesn't have stuns, and unless you have like a Marana arrow, the raises aren't really going to be set up that well either.
Yeah, that is an interesting point as well. Well, we'll see where they end up going. I think you're probably right. Wind Ranger in that safe lane position. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a funky hero, Wind Ranger. Definitely, you know, with the Aghanims buff that she's gotten over time, as well as the power shot, you have a lot more kill potential in those laning phase. But, well, obviously you're not going to get Aghanims in the laning phase, but if you get an early Ags, being able to take down towers, and honestly, you know, they have a whole lot of death ball potential here, and Darkseer, just a great hero for that type of play as well. Ooh, Tighter. I really like that. I like that a lot. I think that's a pretty rare. I don't know if Kraken Shell dispels Winter Wyvern ulti. That's the only thing that I'm not sure about. I have a feeling it doesn't, though.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
Do you know it all?
No idea.
Interesting to see. Well, let me do a quick little introduction here to the players down in the Radiant team. We've got KYBYN, who's going to be playing your Darkseer. Kamzi is going to be your Earthshaker. We have San Balam is going to be playing the Wind Ranger. Dulls is going to be your Winter Wyvern, and we have Punishment, who's going to be the Shadow Fiend. Looks like they're going to really try and take it to him here, going on up into the safe lane, potentially going to try and wrap around, see if they can catch somebody going through the jungle. But do you want to give a quick little
alright. So now we got, for Netka, we got on your mid lane, we got Zoka on your Templar Assassin. We got the Musketeer this time on your Bloodseeker. Jimmy on your Tidehunter, and Aggressive Nigga on your Omni Knight, and Mijito is going to be playing a Lion this time, so he's actually completely switching roles for their new stand-in. He was the Bloodseeker last game.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. So here we go, all of the Radiant on into the jungle. If they catch this Lion here, right, they might be able to. Fissure goes down. Do we have a Surge up? No, just Ion Shell, which is probably the thing that you're going to need regardless, but might be able to catch. No, now that they recognize that the whole team is there, they're going to back on out. And just going to leave that top rune for them to have. Probably going to be going to that Shadow Fiend, I would imagine. Yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, down bot, looks like TA is going to be content to take that rune with Tidehunter heading on over. I do have to say that I kind of like, as opposed to going the Tango, the bunch of Tangos of the Tidehunter, I kind of like going boots first on him. And also the Stout Shield really doesn't work well with the Kraken Shell. So unless you're going to be going for sort of not getting 2 levels in Kraken Shell, I really don't think it's worth it on Tidehunter. What do you think?
Yeah, you need that 2 levels, so that's like, then it's like, basically if you get 2 levels on it, then it makes it completely irrelevant almost. But
yeah.
One thing I do want to say is I do like Shadow Fiend's build. That was really smart.
Going for an early bottle.
No, he went Raises for level 1, and he didn't get the Wraith Band because he knew that even with the Wraith Band, it wouldn't make a difference against TA's Refraction. TA would still do too much damage for it to even matter.
Interesting. Well, so far TA having a little bit better of this lane so far. 4 and 2 versus the 3 and 1 of the Shadow Fiend. So might end up having a little bit of a tough time in lane here. Definitely wants to be able to get those early souls up so that way he can last hit like a champ. But looks like the Bloodseeker has actually been blood raging himself and not doing it for the Ion Shell creep. So taking a little bit of harassment there. A little bit unfortunate, but not really a huge problem. Down here in the bot lane, the Tidehunter just continuing to get a decent amount of EXP, but as we talked about, as soon as he gets that second point in Kraken Shell, it's really not going to give him a whole lot more. Earthshaker's sitting mid, though. Do you think that it would have been worth it to go on up there to try and kill the Tidehunter for him?
What, Earthshaker? Or...
Yeah.
I think if he he's actually, if he's getting stacks off for Shadow Fiend, I think depending on Shadow Fiend's build, that's probably better.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend has been able to pick up that early bottle, and now with Shadow Fiend going to the top rune, Earthshaker's sitting around as well, but they've got a ward there. They're going to know that he's sitting around mid, making stacks happen, and probably aren't going to try and initiate on him anytime too soon here. Looks like he wants to try and make something happen here again. Refraction charges up. The illusion runes are going to break through that. And now that he has raise damage, he can potentially get something down. Fissure goes down as well. Oh, not quite in range to get the double raise, unfortunately. But it is going to secure him a little bit more farm. Not sure if it's worth it for the Fissure, though.
Yeah, that's a good attempt.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, Arctic Burn coming down. It's going to deal a good amount of damage as well with the Splinter Blast. Tidehunter getting really low over here. The Shackle almost hit there. If it only would have latched the next wave of creeps coming on in, I think they would have been able to get the kill, but certainly a good amount of harassment there coming out from him. I think that this is smart, that the Winter Wyvern went for 2 points in Arctic Burn, and then, but I kind of wonder if it would have been worth it to take another point in Splinter Blast. You sort of have to figure out what type of game you're going to be playing as a Winter Wyvern. and it is going to mean that the cooldown goes down pretty significantly by 10 seconds, and as soon as it's back up again, they can do a good amount of damage here. But the big thing to keep in mind is that Tidehunter's health isn't going to be that high throughout the course of this, and Arctic Burn deals damage based upon your total HP. Well, actually, as I'm saying this, they might be able to get the kill on us. Yeah, that's going to be a kill. But if you take a look at it, the damage increase from Splinter Blast is so huge. It ends up going up another 80 damage just off of a second level, which is, I think, pretty good value. So I don't know. I think it's okay, but might have played it a little bit different. Do you play much Winter Wyvern?
Yeah, I actually don't think I've lost a game yet on Winter Wyvern. But
nice. What do you usually do for skill builds?
I'm normally max Arctic Burn because it lowers the mana cost, it lowers the cooldown by a significant margin. It's just good overall for harass. I find I'm often short of mana to upgrade that Splinter Blast, even with the huge damage output though.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll see how this ends up going for them. They've certainly been able to do a really good job so far. Getting that first blood for the Wind Ranger, really, really key. If you take a look at net worth at this point, she's certainly sitting at the top with Shadow Fiend, just a little bit further behind. Bloodseeker actually not getting as much in lane as he might have wanted. Only at 1800 in terms of last hits and denies. He's sitting at 23 and 2, so doing a decent job, but having a little bit of trouble as well. Oh my God, they almost killed that TA. Holy Toledo. Line coming on over to try and help out a little bit though. It's going to potentially be in trouble here, maybe? Doesn't have a ton of mana. I feel like if Shadow Fiend stuck around there, he might have been able to catch a double raise with a kill there on him. Very interesting.
An early smoke is picked up by Earthshaker though.
Yeah. He's working towards that soul ring as well, picking up the recipe, and might opt to rotate on over. He's doing a good job stacking up these camps here. It's a whole lot of stacks. You can actually do the double stack with Earthshaker as well, which is a little bit funky. I think you have to toss out the fissure. I don't know what time exactly, but you have to time it with the fissure getting released. Ooh. That's a little bit rough there. Surge in combination with the Ion Shell taking him down. Oh God! Buddy, almost there, gonna get the kill off on the Shadow Fiend, but then the rotation is gonna make sure that the TA ends up going down as well. She does DC at the last second. A little bit unfortunate there that ended up happening. No pause. Okay.
Oh, so it's throughout the entire best of 3. Okay.
That's pretty rough. Borno laying down the law. For those of you guys that missed it, the first round, they ended up using up all their pause time to try and get everybody into the game, and unfortunately, that meant that they're not going to be able to have a mid player here. Do you think in this situation one of the supports ends up taking the TA to the mid lane and just sort of soaking up EXP? What do you think?
Yeah, I think maybe Majito can actually do that. Because I haven't seen him on support yet, so I think he'd be comfortable in that mid lane as TA.
Potentially. Alright, they're coming on over here. Are going to be able to catch the Darks here, deal a good amount of damage. Purification down as well. Is going to be able to surge away at the end though. And unfortunately, nobody is playing Disruptor this game, so no glimpse back for him. Looks like they're just going to be keeping the TA stuck in the mid lane, unfortunately. Or back in the fountain, unfortunately. Could be a little bit tough. Jimmy getting chased down up here in the bot lane as well. Worth noting as well that, you know, it's really not good for your team if your mid laner is not in the game. And they're already down 1-0. Kind of unfortunate. Oh, there she is. Here we go. Well, Shadow Fiend now is going to be able to rotate on over and take these stacks with ruthless efficiency, and probably get a decent amount of levels off of this, and probably start shooting up the net worth chart as well. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Whole lot of gold. Have you played much Shadow Fiend? Is that a hero that you tend to play a decent amount?
Yeah, I got 140 something games with him. But
oh
I think...
my goodness, that is a lot of freaking games.
I think his thing realizes that Shadow Fiend's build can completely change depending on the situation, which is why he's such a good like opening pick in the mid lane. Like he can go Yules, he can go Mech, and it looks like he's gonna go Yules this game.
Yeah. And immediately going on over to after he takes on out the creep wave, he's gonna go on over and take a little bit of jungle creeps as well. Always the sign of a good Shadow Fiend when you end up doing the double raise and then head on back in, take out some jungle creeps, increase your farm rate. Really, really effective. And I would love to see the Dire trying to do something to contain him a little bit. A little bit of an interaction going on here. We do have the Lion as well as the TA rotating on over to see if they can make something happen. Tidehunter a little bit out of position, does have Ravage though. This could be a little bit rough. Isn't going to be able to hit any of them. Oh my goodness. A little bit unfortunate there. Had they been able to do that, might have been able to turn it around. Node Strike going out on the Wind Ranger in some trouble. Ends up getting taken out by Zoka. Now they want more. Dole's in the area as well. We do see a double raise. Isn't going to do anything to that TA. The third one is though. Might be able to take out that Tidehunter. No, he's going to be able to walk away. Now we've got TA one-shotting the Winter Wyvern off the back of it, and might be able to control the TA enough. No, she's going to be able to get away. Man, this TA is playing very, very well. Just making the most of everything that she's got. That DD is just wrecking fools. Very, very nicely done. Triple kill. Holy crap. 4 for nothing. What went wrong in that team fight for the Radiant?
They should have backed when they saw the DD on TA. They could not fight that. She has max refraction. That's 6 instances, and if they couldn't get the Arctic burn off, like there's nothing really to break those refraction charges that fast.
Yeah, they would need either the Arctic burn or the Dark Seer to be around the area to burn it on down. Alright, Rupture coming out on the Wind Ranger. She's going to get outside of the Silent Zone. We do see Silenced up on the Dark Seer. Might be able to take down this Lion here if he's not careful. Vacuum as well, and there's going to be the power shot to take him out. We have the TA coming back in again. She is going to be able to break through that refraction pretty quickly here with the Ion Shell. That's going to be a dead Blood Seeker. Might be able to take out the TA as well. She's not careful. A decent amount of damage maybe. Shackle's pretty solid. Power shot as well. There's the Surge coming out. Might be able to get in range of the Fissure one last time. There it is. That's nicely done. And that's really, really big for that Earthshaker. Omni Knight not quite coming in time, unfortunately.
Yeah, in those fights with TA, where there's the Dark Seer, those refraction charges are completely irrelevant. She didn't feel so strong there. Uh-oh.
Oh, very nice finisher, as well as Arctic Burn and everything else. Purification comes out, but it's not going to be enough to save his life, unfortunately. So what do you think? So far, I mean, we're taking a look at the net worth. It is looking to be in the favor of the Radiant by about 4,000 gold. In terms of EXP, it's a 3,000 gold lead. Do you think this TA is going to be able to make up for it? I mean, we saw some really nice play there with the DD in the jungle. What do you think?
I think it completely depends on what TA is next. If she goes for, like, the standard, like, Blink Dagger, I think she's going to start having problems. Like, that's not going to... She needs to just go some damage.
Yeah. Well, the thing also here is that the Yule Scepter is going to be good for just about everybody except for TA, I think. I mean, there are multiple instances of damage from Requiem of Souls, but I feel like a lot of the damage that ends up coming out is it's all in one big burst to some extent. Like, you're going to end up having, I mean, how many refraction charges? If she's up at full, that's going to be 6 refraction charges. So that's minus 6 times 8, that's 480 damage that isn't dealt through Requiem of Souls. So I don't know.
Oh, here we go.
There's the Yules, there on the Requiem. That's a dead Blood Seeker. That's the hero you want to hit.
Yeah.
That is definitely the hero you want to hit.
And that was pretty good timing on that.
Actually, you know, yeah. In terms of killing him before he is able to get up that BKB too quickly. It looks like that is the next item he's going to be going for. Maybe. Do you think this might actually be a Sange?
If he's greedy, he'll go Sange, but I think that'd be a mistake.
Okay. Fissure comes down very, very nicely down there. Does get turned into a frog though. Gonna get chased down. Arctic Burn is here as well. Oh my god, the vacuum echo slam. Rabbit Hose set it back up again. Bloodseeker is gonna be able to rupture as well as Blood right then. Shadowfiend's gonna end up going down there. Too bad TA ends up picking up that kill. Winter Wyvern as well as Darkseer want to get out of here just about as quickly as they can. Don't know if they're end up getting interrupted. No, they're able to get out. So 2-for-2 trade, but Omni Knight and the Lion for the Earthshaker and the Shadowfiend does not seem worth it to me.
No, definitely advantage for Netcut that time.
Ooh. Interesting. The Windranger here went phase Maelstrom. Very, very interesting. I haven't seen that build in a while.
Yeah, old school.
It's going to increase their farming rate a decent amount. Do you think that it's worth it?
No, I think the Axe build's just so much better.
Yeah. Blood rate to secure Bloodseeker's return. We do have a hasted up Windranger here. I guess the only thing that could be said about it, there's going to be the repel to keep him alive. But we do have a little bit of a focus fire coming on out here. Isn't going to be able to take out the Omni Knight, unfortunately. TP's coming on in as well. Is going to be able to rupture the Windranger. She's in trouble now, running into everybody here. Is going to end up getting taken out by the purification from the Omni Knight. Whoever's trying to get away is going to be able to Arctic Burn up to the high ground and get out of there. Very, very lucky that that ended up happening. The Fissure as well is just going to get a little bit of extra damage. But the thing to keep in mind throughout all of this, Darkseer pushing down the top tower while 5 heroes are pretty much not farming for the Dire.
He's also gonna get a mech now.
If you take a look, that tower. Who's that now?
The Darkseer. With that tower last hit, he gets his mech.
Oh yeah. That's really scary. Oh man. I think that in combination with, you know, the starting to get the points in the presence of the Dark Lord, you've got Winter Wyvern with 6 at this point, Earthshaker has 7. They're going to be able to really start to be able to fight pretty aggressively as a team together. We do have 4 heroes rotating through the jungle for the Dire. The Shadow Fiend and the Darkseer are just sort of taking out camps left and right and center. Although if they keep going through here, this could be a bit of a problem. Surge is on up, does want to catch him with the Eels, but it's going to end up being turned into a sheep here if he's not careful. There it is, Rupture out on the Shadow Fiend as well. They're in some trouble, need to TP away. If they can, it's going to be able to Yules that away. Wants to Requiem, I don't know if he's going to be able to get it though, Guardian Angel, and that's not going to be enough. Oh man, if he would have been able to back up, oh my god, double kill there. Ravage is pretty good, but they're going to be able to run cleanup crew here. The Radiant really turning this around. Shadow Fiend for 4. Oh my goodness. Wow. That was very well done.
That was a heads-up mech.
That team fight there.
That was a heads-up mech coming out from the Darkseer into that vacuum, into Echo Slam.
Yeah. Right. I thought he was almost going to get the vacuum off into the Requiem of Souls, which would have just made me so happy. Unfortunately, it didn't quite end up happening, but they're going to be able to deal a good amount of damage here. Darkseer heading on out, Lion getting dangerously low, but I don't think that they're... Well, they can probably take out this tower. Tries to deny it, isn't going to end up happening though. And there's the repel to make him walk away. TA running on in here against the Shadow Fiend. Does have that Yule Scepter up if he wants to, but he's taking a lot of damage from the Psyblades. Very, very back and forth so far this game. If you take a look at team net worth, it looks like Radiant is still a little ways ahead, but not crazy amount. Yule Scepter just to mess with the TA a little bit more. Burn through one of those refraction charges, why not? Pretty solid. No Roche yet picked up by any. Are we going to be seeing a Medallion anytime soon? Looks like Wyvern went for a Urn Charge. I think that's really smart against the TA. But I kind of would have, well, I was going to say I kind of would have rather seen it on a different hero, because Wyvern already has a way to deal with a refraction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess with Earthshaker,
there's not really another hero.
Dagger up ASAP. Yeah.
TA has Desolator.
Makes sense, and also, I mean, you know. Oh, jeez.
There you go.
Scary.
That's the item.
Up on the Windranger. What's that?
The Desolator on TA. That's what she needed.
You think?
Yeah.
she's going to be able to deal a ton of damage with that, as well as, you know, just get the extra damage out of the Bloodseeker as well. All right, we're going to end up seeing the Shackle coming on in. Didn't end up lashing, unfortunately. Focus Fire should be enough as well as Winter's Curse to secure that kill. Nicely done. Wind Ranger currently the top of the net worth chart. Revealing the blink there with the kill on the top of the net worth for the Dire is exactly what you want to do there. So not opting to go for the Aghanim Scepter, isn't going to have Focus Fire to deal damage to this tower here, but still making pretty good use of it. Very, very funky, something that we haven't seen in a while. Wind Ranger not going Magnums. Ooh, Arctic Burn goes through BKB. Oh my god, Lion got the deny off of that, but he's going to end up paying for it with his life, I think. Purification comes back in one last time. Fissure is going to be enough to get that kill with Splinter Blast as well. Nicely done. And I think that this is really sort of when you're going to start to see it. They're starting to group together, just push down towers, take objectives, and there's not a whole lot that the Dire can do about it. What do you think the Dire needs to do, actually?
They need a good Ravage. They need... The last Ravage in the last fight, it came after most of Netcut was already dead, so they need to get it off early.
Right. Probably a smoke would be a good way to try and do that. They know that they're going for this tier 2 at this point. Is there any particular pick-off that they need to make before they can end up sort of initiating into a fight?
I think if you're Netcut, you want that Wind Ranger gone, because she's going to completely isolate that TA or the Bloodseeker and remove all those fraction charges, or just completely nuke down a Blood Rage Bloodseeker.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's worth noting as well that, you know, you could potentially do something like blood raging the Tidehunter before he goes in for a Ravage. I think that'd be really solid there. TA not at this fight, it's worth noting as well. She is probably going to wait to TP in at the last seconds, that way she doesn't end up getting picked off at the beginning, while continuing to farm away. Ooh, Darkseer with the Blink Dagger. They're getting a little bit cheeky here. This could be a little bit problematic if they end up catching him out here. One Fissure isolating everybody to the side would be very, very solid. We do have a Blink Dagger as well on the Tidehunter. There it is. They're coming on in, back with everything on top of it, and they're going to end up going down before the TA is able to get into this fight. She's going to have to cancel this TP. No, she's in the middle of it, wants to deal a lot of damage. The fraction charges abound, but I think that she's going to end up going down here. That's the one shot in the Shadow Field. And that might be GG pretty soon here if they're not careful.
That was...
Man, oh man.
That was a cheeky play coming out from KhodYa.
Yeah.
The blink into the trees.
Very well done. I mean, it paid off though, you know?
Yeah.
They were absolutely there, ready to go. They didn't have board vision either, so they had no idea if they would have been able to spot them. Like, if they would have been able to catch them out before that, like, it would have been rough. It's not GG definitely, but it's certainly looking that way. I mean, you've got 13,000, excuse me, almost 14,000 net worth lead for the Radiant. In terms of EXP, we're sitting at just about 10k as well. 20 to 9, your top 3 net worths in the game are the top 3 cores for the Radiant. It's just looking very, very dire for the Dire. I don't know when I'm going to get tired of making that joke, but it certainly won't be today. Let's see. Wind Ranger waiting to pick up the next bottle as well. Smoke for the Earthshaker. Yeah, if this next team fight doesn't go well for the Dire, they're going to be in trouble. And Wind Ranger gets another invis. Ooh, man, oh man. Yeah, this could be a little bit rough. I kind of feel like it would have been worth it maybe for her to go back, heal, and then come back out with the invis to set up the next team fight, but this is going to potentially give them the chance to pick somebody off. We'll see if they end up even going for that. Roche still sitting there looking pretty if anybody wanted to take it.
BKB though for Bloodseeker can be a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. It could make a really big difference. Oh, God. Oh, they take down the courier. Bloodseeker's going to end up getting caught at the beginning of this fight. Purification comes out. He is going to be able to get the BKB off. Has a ton of armor as well. Staying alive on nothing. If this was Huskar, he would have won the game right now. But unfortunately, it looks like the Maximum Wall echoes Slam. Ravage interrupts the Wreck move. Souls would have been the clincher, but I think he's still going to be able to get it off. Soka going down, sitting in the wall. Man, oh man. A little bit rough there at the very beginning. Bloodseeker is going to be able to get away. It looks like the Lion's going to end up dying. No, Fissure comes down as well. They're going to at least be able to take out this tower and maybe Rax off the back of it as well. Very solid team fighting coming out from them. Earthshaker with that blink dagger, it just makes a huge difference in terms of that hero's ability to do anything in a fight. He also has a Force Staff now at this point as well. Looks like they're going to back on out. Don't want to go for the Rax quite yet. Might be worth it for them to go for Roche before they end up going for the high ground.
Yeah, they take it pretty fast, I think, with Rendranger.
So it's kind of what you talked about just a second ago as well about the needing a good Ravage, but getting it off once the sort of the fight's already almost over to some extent. Did it seem like that to you again, that last team fight?
I think that time was a bit... It's still not early enough, but he's getting earlier with them, so we're seeing improvement in the Ravage. That time it was before Bloodseeker died, so... And that BKB allowed it. BKB and Guardian Angel, Bloodseeker's pretty much immortal, other than Winter Wyvern.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I think that, I mean, even with the Winter Wyvern, you know, he's still going to have a ton of HP and everything. Melds at the last second, does not want to get caught out there. Recognized that the Wind Ranger was coming on in. I think they were hoping that they might go a little bit further. Dire does have really great wards in this area here. And TA has the trap and Roche, so they're going to know about it. And, you know, you always... I think that the Radiant has a really good ability to fight around that Roche pit, but Ravage is just so completely huge in those fights. We'll see if he's going to be able to make it happen. Earthshaker doing a little dance move up there, grabbing his totem. Do you think Veil would have been worth it for him to go instead of the Force Staff?
No, I think they've shown in teamfights that they have sufficient damage and just a little bit extra mobility. Okay. It's gonna be effective.
Okay.
I hate Roche.
This might be the opportunity for that early Ravage. It is going to be back up in about... No, it's back up now. So if they want to try and make something happen, they do have a really nice ward over here that just timed out, actually. Ooh, that's a little bit dangerous. They did spot them before it timed out, though. Smoked on up. Only a couple of the heroes. The Lion is not smoked. Also doesn't have a blink dagger yet. So if they wanted to go for it, they certainly could. It's a little bit scary. They do know as well that there's the side trap in there as well, so they're going to end up breaking that, popping the Lincolns, and then focus firing away, and we'll see if they end up trying to initiate onto this. Neither team has really any wards in the area. Oh god, I think that they're going to get it for free. They're going to end up taking this Roche. Well, they're taking their time with it. They do spot another ward in there, the side trap. They're going to know what's going on. It's very, very dangerous. Place another one in there. The sentry ward is going to reveal it again, but it's just getting a little bit scary. Who do you think wins this engagement if they, if both teams are in there?
It's just completely dependent on the Ravage. Jimmy has to... If he gets one off early before... Like... If you kill one of the supports, if you kill Earthshaker or Wyvern before the start of the fight, just because of the Ravage and isolation with the TA, then I think they could win still.
Alright, BKB popped. They're getting ready to go. It's going to be able to dodge the blood right, unfortunately. Oh, Ravage is out. Winner's curse. It doesn't get broken by... Oh, there it is. It does end up coming out there in the end. It wasn't able to take him out. I don't know if it's going to end up being enough, though. Everybody on there is extremely low. Do end up taking out. Oh, my God. Everybody's going to end up going down here. I think... Oh, there it is. I think that this is going to end up coming to the favor of the very clutch purification from the Omni Knight, killed before Requiem came out. I don't think it's going to end up mattering, though. that was a better team fight for the Dire, and the Omni Knight came in clutch to burn the Aegis, but I think that that's not going to end up mattering in the end. He is getting away a decent amount, but there's the Fissure to finish him off. Huh. That was close. I really thought that the Dire was going to come away with that one.
That was a good Winter's Curse, though, coming out from Wyvern, catching 4.
Yeah, definitely. It was really, really solid. I didn't end up breaking the Kraken shell, I don't think, or the Kraken shell didn't end up breaking it, I don't think. I wasn't quite sure, but honestly, I don't know if they're going to be able to take the racks off the back of this. They might be able to take the tower, but even that's a little bit greedy at this point with TA and tied up.
Oh, mistake.
OTA's going on in, trying to take him out here. BKB popped though. I didn't realize he even had that. And there's going to be the Requiem. Oh, he should have moved. Oh, that's Cold Embrace actually. Excuse me, never mind. Earthshaker is able to take out that Tide Hunter. Now we're going to end up seeing the Shadow Fiend breaking apart to that Bloodseeker who pops BKB as well. Fairly decent trade for the Radiant. Shadow Fiend for the TA and the Tide. Still sitting at the top of the network. If you take a look at that team fight, it's relatively even across the board. 700 gold gain for each side, as well as 2,700 EXP for the Radiant as well. So game continuing. If we take a look at net worth at this point, it is just about a 17,000 gold lead into the favor of the Radiant. In terms of EXP, about the same. Looks like my pub games when I'm behind, honestly. I don't know. Oh, Wind Ranger gonna catch. There's the shackle on the tiny tree, and Lion goes down. I don't know. I feel like at this point it's really hard to even just try and do anything against this. Omni Knight's caught out in the middle of him. TA is going to end up getting those refraction charges burned. Rupture comes out as well. The entire courier goes down. We do see the wall. No vacuum. Winter's Curse, though, doing a lot of damage. That's going to be a dead Tide Hunter. He does get out the Ravage in the end. Oh, and he's able to get out of there actually with the repel on him. Darkseer taking a whole lot of damage. Doesn't have Guardian Greaves back up for another 29 seconds. Wind Ranger trying to save his life is going to be able to take down this Omni Knight pretty effectively. Got a Cold Embrace to keep the Darkseer alive as well. And it looks like they're able to come away from that with the win, not losing anybody. And with all of this sustain they have with Guardian Greaves, with Cold Embrace, everything else in between, they're going to be absolutely fine here. Anything big that you caught there that I ended up missing from that?
Well, I mean, right now Netcut's gonna just be in trouble. I mean, they wasted Ravage. Well, you didn't miss that. Hard to miss that.
Yeah. I don't know if it was worth it. It might have been more worth it to just let him die and then have the potential for buyback. He has 2,000 gold. Vacuum's pretty big. Echo Slam's pretty large as well. Fissure comes down. BKB on top of him. Reckoning of the Souls is going to catch the Lion as well as the Bloodseeker. He's Blood Rage, taking a little bit more damage. Surge, but getting blocked by creeps. Tide Hunter is going to be able to get back inside. I think maybe Musketeer takes down the Shadow Fiend. We're going to see the Enchant Totem, but Repel comes out to save his life. Not going to be able to save him from a little bit of a hit from an Enchant Totem, but he has enough life to sustain that anyways. And meanwhile, throughout the whole course, this Wind Ranger with an Aghanim Scepter is just going to be able to continue to hit away at these barracks here. So very nicely done there. Still do leave the range barracks, but that's not going to regen anymore, I don't think. Oh my god, is she really going for it? The hell is she doing?
Hashtag worth.
That works. Right? So I guess it's fine. You know, she wind-runned up to get it. At this point, they probably feel very, very comfortable with where they're at. They're over 20k net worth. In terms of EXP, it's a similar story. Not at all where you want to be if you're the Dire. TA hasn't really progressed in items. She has been able to pick up her Blink Dagger. We also see for the Bloodseeker, he's been able to pick up BKB, had it for a little while, and now going to go for MKB next. Pretty solid choice against the Wind Ranger. Only about 400 gold away from finishing that off. But let's take a look at some of the items that the Radiant has. We do see the Force and the Blink on the Earthshaker Guardians, as well as I think the Darkseer is going to have Shiva's relatively shortly here. He already has the recipe, as well as 2,200 gold, so he's getting pretty close. We see the Winter Wyvern picked up Yules, Aghanim's on the Wind Ranger, Shadow Fiend has BKB, Yules, and Blink Dagger, as well as probably a good chunk of change in the banks. 3,100. Might be trying to save up for that Eagle Song to build into a Butterfly next. Probably wouldn't be the best item considering that Bloodseeker is about to have MKB, but at this point I don't know if it really matters. What do you think?
I think he should get Scotty probably. But Windranger also picked up BKB recently too. So now they got 2 BKBs.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's going to help a lot. Definitely. I think, yeah, Scotty seems like a really solid pickup on him. Can just be... Because that's the thing about Shadow Fiend, is that he can be just such a freaking unbelievable, ridiculous tank based upon the items he's able to pick up by farming super efficiently. Oh, this could be a really bad initiation here. They do have Ravage back up again. Ends up popping it, catching 3 on the backside. They're not going to be able to take out the Earthshaker and the Darkseer, though, I don't think. That's a whole lot to use for the Wind Ranger, and this is going to end up being a dead Musketeer as well here. Kind of unfortunate. Yeah, they just blew all their stuff for just a kill on the Wind Ranger. Do you think that was worth it?
If she didn't like completely feed in the mid lane that one time, yeah, but she didn't even have a streak or anything to make it really that worth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wall back to the Echo. That's pretty big. Oh, and then canceling Reckon with Souls because he doesn't need it. There's the Winner's Curse on the Omni Knight as well. Wasn't even able to purify or anything else. GG ends up getting called. It was a pretty solid game. That's going to be the end of the best of 3 as well, considering that it was all over, right?
Yep.
Well, thank you all very much for watching. It was an absolute pleasure casting with MZ here. Do you have anything that you'd like to plug? YouTube channel?
Twitch.tv/MZ1815, YouTube.com/MZ1815. Yeah, that's about it.
Solid. And I'm twitch.tv/LyricalGangster, Twitter.com/LyricalGangster, YouTube.com/LyricalGangster, and for Twitter and Twitch, you just have to switch the E with the 3. You'll find me. I think that's about it. It's a good game. You gonna be on for some casting tomorrow potentially?
Yeah, probably. And so now basically though, from looking at the tournament, this means Netcut though isn't out. They're in the lower bracket apparently, so we might be seeing more from them.
Okay.
Some sort of redemption. They'll fix their internet, and
that's the plan.
KhodYa moves on in the winners bracket.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining in. Absolute pleasure. And besides that, we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Have a good one. Peace.